Have you ever looked at a car, maybe your own, and thought about the tires? Not just, because they're getting worn out.
Yeah.
But maybe you're thinking about a different look or how the car feels.
Right.
It seems like just, an aesthetic thing, but it's actually a massive deal. It affects your comfort, your fuel budget, how the car actually drives, its whole personality almost.
Definitely.
And honestly, the internet is just full of advice about tires. And some of it may be well-meaning, but it could easily cost you hundreds, maybe even thousands if you get it wrong.
Misinformation is everywhere.
So today, we're cutting through all that. We're doing a deep dive into the biggest myths about tire profiles. We're using the data we have, the facts, and a bit of skepticism too. Like, is a thinner tire really quieter? Are those thick, high-profile tires just for trucks? And the big one, which tire actually saves you money at the pump? The answers might actually surprise you.
They often do.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Exactly. Our goal today is simple. Give you clear, factual insights. So you can make a genuinely informed decision about the tires connecting you to the road, cutting through the trends and the noise. This is really about understanding the basic physics and engineering involved. So you choose what's right for your car, your driving.
Okay, let's start with one that seems to constantly trip people up.
Yeah.
This common idea, it feels almost backward, that low-profile tires, the ones with the short sidewalls.
The sporty-looking ones.
Yeah, that they somehow have weaker grip. And then, kind of related, you sometimes hear that high-profile tires let you fit bigger brakes. This doesn't feel right to me, but I hear it.
Right.
What's the real story there with performance and braking?
Yeah, what's fascinating here is just how, fundamentally misunderstood those ideas often are. When we're talking pure performance, pure grip, low-profile tires are absolutely the champions of road holding. Think of it like a high-performance running shoe versus maybe a big hiking boot. That shorter, stiffer sidewall on a low-profile tire, it flexes way less when you're cornering hard or braking hard. And because it's stiffer, it keeps a more consistent, solid patch of rubber pressed right onto the pavement, a bigger, more stable contact patch.
Okay. Less flexing means more rubber stays flat on the road.
Precisely. And the benefits, they're immediate. Your steering feels incredibly sharp, like razor sharp. The car feels way more planted, more stable in turns. You even get shorter braking distances because of that consistent grip. It's exactly why basically every sports car, every performance vehicle uses them. They're built for that direct connection to the road, almost telepathic, you could say.
So it's not about looking slim. It's that sidewall stiffness delivering the performance. That clicks. But this other bit about high-profile tires allowing for bigger brakes, my gut still says no. Why is that wrong?
Yeah, your gut's right on the money there. That's a complete misunderstanding of how brakes fit. The size of your brakes, the metal calipers, the big discs, the rotors that's limited by the diameter of the wheel itself. The metal rim.
Right, the rim, not the rubber.
Exactly, not the height of the rubber sidewall. In fact, it works the other way around. High-performance cars, they need massive brakes to stop effectively, right?
Of course.
Well, those massive brakes demand large diameter wheels. We're talking 18, 19, maybe even 20-inch rims or bigger. And to fit those huge wheels under the car without the tire scraping the fender, you have to use a tire with a short, low-profile sidewall. There's just no room otherwise.
Okay, so you need the big wheel for the big brake, and the low-profile tire is necessary to make that big wheel fit.
Got it. A high-profile tire usually goes with a smaller wheel, which physically limits how big your brakes can be. So the tire profile isn't enabling bigger brakes. The need for big brakes forces the use of big wheels, which then requires low-profile tires.
Wow, okay. That completely flips the script on how I thought that worked, and probably how a lot of listeners did too. So, if low-profile tires are so great for performance, sharp steering, better grip, shorter stops, why doesn't every single car have them?
Right, good question.
Which brings us to, I guess, the flip side. Comfort and noise. There's this assumption, isn't there, that the sleek, thin look means it's actually quieter.
Yeah, it's an intuitive thought, but the reality is almost always the opposite. Low-profile tires, they're generally louder, and they give a harsher ride.
Really? Louder?
Definitely. Remember that stiff sidewall that's so good for cornering? Well, it's terrible at absorbing vibrations from the road. Every little bump, every crack, every road imperfection gets transmitted much more directly through the wheel, into the suspension, and bam, right into the cabin. You hear it, and you feel it. On roads that aren't perfect, like, typical city streets or even some highways, it can get pretty tiring over a longer drive, just that constant vibration and noise.
So that smooth, quiet cruise a lot of us want. that's not really the strong suit for these low profiles.
Not typically, no.
I can totally see how that would be a deal breaker for some people. It
Right.
really does shift the perspective. It's not about good versus bad. It's more like what's right for where you drive.
Exactly. Context is everything.
This brings up something related. What about safety? Are low-profile tires dangerous? You hear that sometimes too.
Well, dangerous isn't quite the right word. They aren't inherently unsafe by design, but they are definitely far less forgiving.
Less forgiving. How so?
Okay, think about a high-profile tire. It has that taller, more flexible sidewall. It acts like a kind of built-in shock absorber, right? It cushions impacts before they even really get to your car suspension. That's why they give you that significantly quieter, much smoother ride. Now, contrast that with the low-profile tire, that thin cushion of rubber.
Yeah.
It means your expensive wheels are much, much more vulnerable if you hit a pothole.
Ah, okay. Direct hit on the rim, almost.
Pretty much. A pothole that a high-profile tire would just kind of soak up, you might barely notice it. That same pothole could easily cause a bulge, a bubble in the sidewall of a low-profile tire. Or worse, it could actually bend or even crack your wheel. I remember hitting a pretty minor pothole once with some really low-profile tires, and honestly, it felt like I had driven straight over a curb. That impact was harsh.
Ouch. Yeah, that makes sense. That's that less forgiving part in action.
Exactly. So the danger isn't really in the tire's design itself. It's more about using it on the wrong kind of roads, or maybe not being careful enough on rough surfaces.
That paints a really clear picture. Makes you think twice if you live somewhere with terrible roads, even if you like the sporty look. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about something everyone cares about. The wallet. Saving money.
Always important.
Let's tackle two big money myths. First, low-profile tires save fuel. Second, they last longer. I can almost hear people thinking, well, less flex, right? Less wasted energy. Must be more efficient.
Yeah, that initial logic, it seems to make sense on the surface, doesn't it? Less squirming rubber, less energy lost.
Right.
But here's the catch, the counterintuitive bit. Low-profile tires, because they're usually designed for performance, well, they're often significantly wider than their high-profile cousins.
Ah, wider contact patch again.
Exactly. Great for grip, like we said. But that wider patch also means more friction with the road. We call it rolling resistance. More friction means your engine simply has to work harder to keep the car moving. And, well, it's that simple. Working harder means burning more fuel.
So more grip equals more fuel used. It's a direct trade-off.
It generally is, yes. Whereas many high-profile tires, particularly the ones designed for everyday cars, for touring, they're specifically engineered with compounds and tread patterns designed for low rolling resistance.
Right.
Their goal is to maximize your fuel economy.
Okay, so fuel myth busted. What about lifespan? Are those sporty low profiles tougher? Do they last longer just because they look aggressive?
No, not at all. That idea that a thinner tire is inherently tougher or lasts longer, it's completely false. A tire's lifespan has almost nothing to do with its profile height. It has everything to do with its tread compound. Basically, the specific rubber recipe used for the part that touches the road.
The rubber itself?
Yes. Think about it. Those performance low-profile tires, they often use a very soft, sticky rubber compound.
For maximum grip.
Exactly. For performance. But that softness, that stickiness, it comes at a price. They wear out incredibly fast sometimes. On the other hand, you can have a touring tire, maybe high profile, maybe low profile, made with a hard compound designed for durability. That tire will last much, much longer.
So profile doesn't dictate lifespan. The rubber compound does. How can someone tell?
Well, the key is to look at the tread wear rating. It's printed right there on the sidewall of every tire. It's a number. A higher number, say 600, means it's designed to last a lot longer than a tire with a lower number, maybe like 200, which would be typical for a very performance-oriented tire.
Ah, the tread wear rating.
Yeah.
That's the number to look for if you want longevity.
Absolutely. So if we connect this back to the bigger picture, choosing those high-performance low profiles often means you're sacrificing not just fuel economy, but also how long those tires are going to last. It's another trade-off.
That's a really crucial point, especially when tires are such a big investment. We often just look at the price tag, not the tread wear rating. Okay, let's dig a bit deeper. Beyond just how they look, how are these things actually built? There's this common idea that a skinny-looking low-profile tire, well, it can't carry much weight. It feels like a visual trick, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then, related to that, the myth that all low-profile tires are made from that soft, sticky performance rubber we just talked about.
Yeah, this raises an important question, right? About judging a tire's capabilities just by how it looks. A tire's ability to carry weight, its load capacity, it has absolutely nothing to do with how tall the sidewall is. Zero. It's all determined by the tire's internal construction, the belts, the plies, how it's put together, and that capability is shown by the load index number, again, printed right on the sidewall.
Another number on the sidewalk.
Yep. You can absolutely find a low-profile tire with a very high load index, perfectly capable of handling a heavy SUV or a loaded-down sedan. In fact, sometimes that stiff sidewall structure we keep mentioning can actually help support weight with less flexing, which can improve stability when the vehicle is carrying a lot.
So the skinny look is totally misleading for strength. It's about the internal build
Right.
and the rubber compound.
Yeah.
Are all low-profile soft?
No, not at all. Again, the look tells you nothing about the material inside. The rubber compound, that recipe, it's chosen by engineers for a very specific purpose, for a specific type of driving or vehicle. So you could easily have a low-profile tire designed for, say, a big luxury sedan. That tire might use a hard, long-lasting compound focused on quietness and durability, not maximum grip.
Okay.
And flip side,
Yeah.
you could have a really chunky, high-profile off-road tire that uses a super soft, sticky compound specifically designed to crawl over rocks.
So the compound is tailored to the job, regardless of the profile.
Exactly. The profile gives you the shape. The compound gives you the mission. So the crucial takeaway here is, don't ever judge a tire's strength or its rubber type just by glancing at its sidewall height. You really have to read the specifications printed right on the tire itself. The load index, the tread wear rating, the speed rating, that's where the actual information is.
That's powerful advice. Look beyond the visuals, read the specs. Got it. Okay, let's talk about fitment. Where do these different tires actually belong? There's this, I don't know, old school thinking maybe, that high-profile tires are just for SUVs and trucks, and low-profile, those are only for brand new sports cars. I think we can probably agree that's pretty outdated thinking now, right?
Oh, completely outdated. Yes, high-profile tires are great on trucks. That extra sidewall gives you cushioning on rough roads, protects the wheels.
Sure.
But their use goes way beyond that. They are absolutely fantastic on luxury sedans, too. Anywhere where the absolute priority is a silent, super comfortable ride that just isolates you from the bumps. You know, picture a big Mercedes S-Class just gliding down the highway, that plush, quiet feeling. A good high-profile tire plays a huge part in that. It's about matching the tire to the car's mission.
Makes sense. Comfort king. And the reverse low profiles aren't just for new sports cars either. Can you put them on older cars?
Exactly. That new cars only idea is just plain wrong.
Low-profile tires have been super popular in the car modification scene for decades now. People put them on classic muscle cars, on 90s Japanese imports, on all sorts of custom builds.
Yeah.
Why? For that modern, aggressive look? Yes. But also critically, to significantly sharpen up the handling of an older car.
Okay, so performance upgrade for older vehicles too.
Definitely, but, and this is the absolute key is doing it correctly.
What do you mean?
When you switch to a lower profile tire, you almost always must go to a larger diameter wheel at the same time. The goal is to keep the tire's total height, the overall diameter of the metal wheel plus the rubber tire the same, or at least very, very close to what the car came with originally.
Why is that so important?
If you get that overall diameter wrong, you can mess up a lot of things. Your speedometer will read incorrectly, your odometer will be off. Even more importantly, it can confuse your car's computer systems, especially the anti-lock brakes, the ABS. It's calibrated for a specific tire height.
And yeah, you can completely ruin the ride quality too.
So it's not about new car versus old car at all. It's about making sure you have a properly matched wheel and tire combination for any car. Getting that overall diameter right is crucial.
That's critical info for anyone thinking about changing tire sizes. Don't just slap on low profiles without changing the wheels too, potentially.
Please don't. Do the math or talk to a professional.
Okay, so after digging into all of this, performance, comfort, noise, cost, construction, fitment, what does this all mean for you, the listener? What's the actual right choice? It seems pretty clear there's no single simple answer, is there? It's not like low profile is always better or high profile is always better.
Not at all.
It really is all about the trade-offs, isn't it? And figuring out what you prioritize for your specific car and your daily driving reality. Precisely. That's the perfect summary. If you happen to live somewhere with beautifully smooth roads, maybe you rarely encounter potholes, and you genuinely value that super sharp handling, that responsive steering feel, and maybe you like that modern, aggressive aesthetic, then yeah, a low-profile tire could be an excellent choice for you.
But you accept the trade-offs.
You absolutely do. You accept you'll probably sacrifice some ride comfort, maybe hear more road noise, and you'll definitely need to be more careful around road hazards like potholes to protect those wheels. But the performance gains are real. However, if your daily drive includes roads that are, let's say, less than perfect, maybe lots of broken pavement, expansion joints, potholes.
Like reality for many of us.
Like reality for many of us. And if you put a high value on a quiet, comfortable ride above sheer cornering grip, or if you just want a tire that's generally more durable, offers better protection for your wheels, and is probably kinder to your wallet in the long run, then honestly, a high-profile tire is almost certainly the smarter, more practical option in those cases.
So it's not about fashion, it's about function matching your life.
Exactly. The choice shouldn't be about chasing a trend or just what looks cool. It has to be an informed decision that genuinely matches your needs, your driving style, and the roads you use every day. Just knowing the truth behind these common myths, understanding these trade-offs we've discussed, that's the first and honestly the most important step towards choosing the set of tires that will be perfect for you.
So the final question for you listening is this. Knowing these deeper truths, how will you decide to balance that performance versus comfort equation on your next tire purchase? Something to think about.
Definitely. Think about where you drive, how you drive, and what really matters most to you on a daily basis. That's the key.